warriors. They had tormented the poor, making them cry and weep. They had destroyed cities and neighborhoods, ravaged villages, killed and looted. In their perverse hatred against certain clans, they had called to them from near the ramparts, and then, by means of their tricks and deceitfulness, they had brought the people together and then massacred them. It is for all these crimes that they suffer all these punishments. In the Mahārava hell, the damned are put into gas chambers. They are shut in prisons or in dark smoky holes and gassed. Or else they are thrown into wells. It is for having stolen others' goods or for similar reasons that they suffer the torments of the Mahārava hell. 6-7. The 6th and 7th great hells are the tapana and pratapana. There are 2 great copper cauldrons there. The first is called Nantio and the second Po Nantio. In the language of ts'in, joy and great joy. They are filled with boiling brine. The raksasa demons, guardians of hell, throw the damned into them, like head chefs cooking meat. The people in these cauldrons have their feet up and their heads down. They are boiled like beans. Their bones and joints become detached. Their skin and flesh dissolve. When they are completely cooked, the demons fish them out with a fork. According to the law of karma, a cold wind blows that brings the damned back to life. Then they are thrown into the glowing coals or into the excrement, like fish pulled out of the water and thrown onto the hot sand. There they are cooked in pus and blood. Then they are taken out of the glowing coals and thrown onto a bed of flames where they are forced to sit. Their eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, up to the pores of their skin, emit flames. In their previous lives, these unfortunates had tormented their parents, their teacher, sramanas, and brahmanas. They had tormented honest people and fields of merit to the point of arousing their anger. For these reasons they suffer the torments of the tapana hell. Or else, in their previous lives, they had roasted live cocoons, roasted live pigs and sheep, spit roasted living human beings. Or else they had set fire to the jungle, burned villages, stupas, monasteries, temples, etc. Or else they had thrown beings into pits of fire. It is for all these reasons that they are reborn in this hell. 8. The Bodhisattva sees the Avasai hell, 4,000 li in size, surrounded by iron walls and situated even deeper than the 7 hells. The raksasa guardians hammer the damned with great iron hammers like blacksmiths hammering out iron. They crush them from head to foot. They pin out and stretch their bodies with 500 nails, like an ox hide is stretched. The damned drag themselves along and tear themselves apart with their hands. A fiery iron chariot rolls over their bodies. Various utseta annexed to the Avasai. 1. They are forcibly pushed into the glowing coals and made to carry the glowing coals. 2. They come out by the river of excrement which they are made to enter. Their poisonous iron-beaked insects enter their body through their nose and leave through the soles of their feet. Entering by the soles of their feet, they leave through their mouths. 3. There arises before them the path of knives and they are made to gallop there by whiplashes. The soles of their feet are cut into pieces like meat minced for cooking. Knives, swords, and sharp blades fly through their bodies. Just as leaves falling from a frozen tree are scattered at the mercy of the wind, so the sliced off hands, feet, noses and limbs of these damned cover the ground and torrents of blood flow. 2 evil dogs, Che Mo and Che Pio Lo, fierce beasts with iron gullets, tear at the sinews and bones of these damned. These dogs are as strong as tigers and as fierce as lions. Then there is the forest of iron spines where the damned are pushed and forced to climb the trees. When the damned climb up, the spines turn downward. When they come down, the spines turn upward. Huge poisonous snakes, scorpions, and poisonous insects come to chew on the damned. Big long-beaked birds breaks their heads and feast on their brains. 4. The damned enter the salt river Kurodakanadi or Vaitarni, which they enter and are swept downstream. When they emerge, they tread on a ground of burning iron. walking on iron spines and sitting on iron spikes that enter them from behind. The guardians open their mouths with pliers and pour in molten copper. They make them swallow flaming balls of iron. These balls enter and burn their mouth, penetrate into and burn the throat. They penetrate into and burn the belly. The 5 viscera having been burned, they fall to the ground. The damned, who see only ugly colors, breathe only fetid air, touch only rough things and undergo all the suffering, are bowed down with sorrow. Sometimes they act like savages, sometimes they run and hide, sometimes they trip and fall. In previous lives, these unfortunates had committed many great wrongs and perpetrated the 5 grave sins of immediate retribution. They destroyed the roots of good. They called the Dharma adharma and adharma they called Dharma. They denied cause and effect, despised and envied honest people. For all these sins they enter into this hell and undergo such hard punishments. The 16 utsadas annexed to the 8 great hells. Outside the boundary of these 8 great hells there are also 16 hells that form annexes. 8 hells of cold water and 8 hells of fire and flame. The punishments there are of rare unprecedented severity. The 8 hells of fire and flame are: the blazing coals, excrement, the blazing forest, the forest of swords, the path of knives, the forest of iron spines, the salt river, the copper stake. The 8 hells of cold water are: ngo fiatio, having many holes; ni lo fiatio, not having holes; alolo, groan, uttered by the damned under the biting cold; a po, another groan caused by the cold; hia, another groan caused by the cold; njapolo, because the outer walls of this hell are like blue lotus; poteumo, punishment that makes the damned look like red lotuses; moho poteumo. The 8 hot hells. People have violated the pure precepts and the monastic code. They have induced lay people to distrust the Buddhist path. They have thrown people into a ditch filled with fire. They have roasted beings while they were still alive. For all these reasons, they fall into the hell of blazing coals. Hot blazing coals burn these damned up to their knees. 2. Some people have touched food meant for the sravakas, brahmanas, or fields of merit with their impure hands. They have eaten before them or introduced filth into their food. They have emptied hot excrement over their bodies. They have abandoned the means of pure existence and derived their subsistence from evil ways of living. For all these reasons, they fall into the hell of excrement. This sewer is as deep and vast as the ocean. There are iron-beaked insects that crush the heads of the damned and eat their brains, that crush their bones and eat their marrow. 3. Some people, setting fire to grass and wood, have destroyed insects. By chasing them away, they have burned the forest to complete the carnage. For all these reasons, they fall into the hell of the burning forest where the damned are burned in the fire of grass and wood. 4. Some people, sword in hand, have gone into battle, wounded and killed. They have cut down a tree under which they have crushed their enemy in order to avenge some old grievance. They have betrayed the secret confided to them in good faith by a friend. For all these reasons, they